Hey guys, welcome back to the Crypto Explorer channel. Today's video is going to be taking a look at Trader Joe, a leading DEX on Avalanche, and more than that, they're not just a standalone DEX, let me tell you. They have a ton of services for every crypto enthusiast. They have pools, farms, borrowing and lending, staking, NFD marketplace. So how I like to say it is that they have it all. They're a really cool platform and they're generating a lot of revenue in passive income. So that's what we will dive into on today's video. And by the way, if you enjoy this type of content, if you're a fellow crypto enthusiast just exploring this wild world of DeFi, of crypto, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and like. I'm gonna keep on bringing this type of content, introducing like these tremendous opportunities to generate passive income within DeFi, which are far superior to traditional finance, I would say. So guys, before getting started, I always like to take a broader look into the blockchain and DeFi as a whole. So we're gonna start by taking a look at where Avalanche stands in TVL rankings of blockchains. From there on, we'll see the top protocols on AVAX, and finally, we'll get started just looking at Trader Joe, okay? There's plenty to talk about, so let's get it started. Alright, so here on DeFi Llama, we have all the blockchains ranked by TVL, and Avalanche is ranking 7th. For the past month, they had over 38% increase in TVL. For the past week, over 14%. So that accounts right now for $1.24 billion in TVL, which is substantial. They're still very much a very active blockchain, and you'll see by the protocols on Avalanche that volume is picking up. So regardless of how TVL is compared like with, for example, the likes of Solana, which has been seeing massive increase. So for example, Solana here has increased 131% TVL for the past month. So there's much more bullish momentum on Solana, but still Avalanche has a ton of potential, and in a way it's better to get in right now because there's more potential for just price appreciation and just riding the wave of price appreciation from the beginning. And while with Solana there's tremendous opportunities farming in Solana right now, but at the same time, if you are with, for example, Trader Joe, which is ranking 3rd on AVAX, you can ride that price appreciation much sooner if that's your strategy. That is, if you're just looking to get paid by fees, well, that's also pretty much happening right now on AVAX with Trader Joe. So these are the ranking protocols on Avalanche. 1.26 billion in TVL. The 3rd ranking protocol is Trader Joe, unsurprisingly. Like, this is the leading DEX. All the others, Aave is a different protocol, Benki the same. And when it comes to DEXes, they're first, and by far, like, they more than triple the TVL for the next ranking DEX, which is Pangolin. So Trader Joe, they have not been around for a long period of time, since 2021 I believe, but still they're already established themselves in Avalanche as one of the main DEXs. The reason why you don't see Uniswap just above Trader Joe is because Uniswap didn't really launch as soon on Avalanche as Trader Joe did. So in the meanwhile, people just went on to Trader Joe to take advantage of the opportunities and started using it since then, and well, it pretty much has been the leading DEX since the get-go on Avalanche. So looking at Trader Joe TVL chart here, you'll see there it pretty much mimics what we just saw with the Avalanche whole blockchain. They had all-time highs in 2022, and right now we are very much low. So this is what I was mentioning when I was comparing with Solana. Solana has a much more noticeable increase in the TVL, while here on AVAX it's going up, yeah, but ever so slightly, and you have to really zoom in to see like that movement more in a more defined way, so to say. So it's pretty much very good point in time to get into Trader Joe and start enjoying some volume and fees, because as you will see, volume right now, let me switch it on, but it's pretty much already showing the same spikes that showed in all-time highs. So the TVL is not at all-time highs, but at the same time the volume is already ramping up quite substantially, and same goes for the fees. So let's turn on fees here. So it's also noticeable there's more action right now with the fees, although we're not even near to what was experienced at all-time highs TVL back in 2022. But regardless, looking at market cap and TVL on Trader Joe, I would rather see the opposite, like having 200 million in market cap and 400 in TVL. That would be even better, but still, it's the leading DEX. It will generate revenue passively for liquidity providers. So let's take a look at what they have to offer. They have really nice pools on Trader Joe. So before the pools, let's take a look at the networks they operate. So they operate in Avalanche, ARB, BNB, and Ethereum. When it comes to pools, I gotta say, the best ones are definitely on Avalanche, but there's also a lot of options within the Arbitrum network, because they have been approved for the reward program by Arbitrum, which means all the pools that well, not all, but some pools that they will have when you switch to Arbitrum, we'll check that later on the video. But if you're looking for pools on Arbitrum with Trader Joe, they also have really nice ones. And the cool thing about the incentives program that they have been accepted into is that it will pay you rewards in the ARB token. So that's a really big one to look out for. But regardless, let's take a look at the pools. There's two types of pools. There's going to be manual and auto pools. What does that mean? So if they are auto, it means that the range will be automatically set up by their algorithm. So even if you go out of range, you don't have to do anything. It will rearrange itself. The algorithm takes care of things. But at the same time, since they do that, they will take up to 4.5% APR fees, I believe. So there's going to be fees just because they are generating that ability to rearrange automatically, hands off for the user. So that's something you need to look out for. If you're new to concentrated liquidity, these auto pools would be your best approach, because you don't have to worry about a thing. But if you are already somewhat familiar with liquidity farming, and especially with concentrated liquidity, the manual pools, so they would be a more hands-on approach. They will demand more time. You'll have to check if you are within range or not. It will take more work on your side in a way, but you'll get higher rewards just because you're not getting charged those fees. Then if the market is too volatile, these auto pools can just hit you hard with impermanent loss. But that's also something which is it's part of the risk itself. Regardless, let's take a look at some of the better pools. Now, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. So if you took value from it, like and subscribe. I'm just going to tell you what you need to look out for when you're providing liquidity. It's the holy trinity, like I like to say: volume, TVL, and APR. You got to look at volume. TVL here will be liquidity, and the APR, well, it's how much percentage you're getting paid. So right now, this AVAX USDC pool really stands out. APR triple digits, almost 4, so this is huge. This is one of the best pools I've seen in a while. Volume is pretty much 10x what we have in TVL, so that's already a winner just because of that. The higher the volume is when compared to TVL or liquidity, the higher the fees will be. You see that this pool has paid in fees for the past 24 hours over $265,000, so that's quite substantial. But this is a manual pool, so have that in mind. There's also this Bitcoin AVAX pair, which is generating substantial volume compared with the liquidity. This is also over 10x. That's also triple digits APR with blue chip assets, which is crazy. Wrap ETH and AVAX also doing quite good. Again, look at this volume to TVL or liquidity ratio. This is off the charts, well over 10x. And once again, the APR is super juicy. So these pools are just incredible itself. But if you are bullish on upward potential of price appreciation for the token of Trader Joe, take a look at this specific one here, Joe AVAX, because this one is also paying triple digits APR, 172%, and the volume is more than double than the liquidity, which is always a good indicator. But I mean, it shies in comparison when you're putting it against wrapped ETH AVAX, Bitcoin AVAX, AVAX USDC, but it's still a very solid one. But what I've been noticing across chains is that the native token of the chain paired with USDC or in some cases USDT, but usually a stablecoin pair with the native token of the blockchain is generating tremendous amounts of volume right now, and it's easily one of the best picks for liquidity farming. If you saw my last video on Solana's Orca, the main or one of the main dexes on Solana paired with the stable coin there was also paying in some cases over 1% a day. So that's crazy. Now let's switch up here from AVAX to Arbitrum and see other pools that they have available here on Trader Joe. So you see the first pair, the one which has higher volume, I ranked things up here for or by volume. ETH USDC, this is what I was telling you about. So it's not ARB, it's ETH, but ETH is still a big one on the Arbitrum network. It's still a huge token to provide liquidity there because it is traded a lot actually. So ETH USDC, this is paying rewards. You see, when you see this green rewards icon here, it means that there's extra rewards on top of the fees that you're getting paid in order to provide liquidity. In this case, you'll get Arbitrum. That's what I was referring earlier when I was telling you about the Trader Joe being accepted to Arbitrum's incentives program. So all these pools that you see rewards, they will pay you on top of the fees with Arbitrum. And yeah, just look out for which ones interest you, and you might get paid Arbitrum also. ARBUSDC.E is a good one also. As you can see, like the liquidity to TVL ratio is pretty much more than double right now, so that means triple digits APR, once again 308% on blue chip assets, a blue chip and a stable coin. So Joe ETH, this is also pretty much a winner. I mean, liquidity is short than 500,000 and the volume is almost, well, it's over 9 million. So this one is also, yeah, look at this APR, 1549%. So this one is definitely printing, I would say. So pay some attention also to the Arbitrum pools here on Trader Joe because of those incentive programs. So how can you earn the Joe tokens? Well, in pools, you're getting paid with the fees, right? You're getting a part of the fees paid to you because you're providing liquidity. Now, if you go here and switch up to farm, you will see that there will be options that allow you to stake your liquidity pool tokens, and when you do that, you will start getting paid with Joe token. So these are the active farms that we have here. So on top of fees, each one of these will also pay you with the Joe token just as a reward for you to just provide liquidity within the platform. So there's tons to choose from. There's AVAX Joe, this is a solid one, and triple digit APR on this pair. I mean, it's a really good one. And you can see the boost icon here. I'll show you in a second how you can boost your yields from these farms, but there's so many to choose from. There's stablecoin pairs, there's blue chip pairs like AVAX Bitcoin is also a really nice one, AVAX USDT, and there's more. There's even another page out of it, but I just want to basically show you how this one works. So what is the utility of the Joe token? You can sell it for profit, yeah, but if you want to maximize your earnings here from Trader Joe's farms, you can see the boost icon here. So let's see how that works. For that, we'll switch up here where it says stake. Foremost, you can also stake your Joe tokens here, and depending on the chain which you are, you'll have different pools to stake on. So on Avalanche, you will have all of these. You have SJO, VJO, RJO, and XJO. All of these give you different rewards. So when you get your JO tokens, you can even claim them from your farms or just grab a bag and stake it here. What's going to happen is that if you go on the SJO pool, you will earn USD stablecoins from the protocol's revenue. Basically, you become a shareholder, much in the likes of what happens with PancakeSwap and vCake. And in here, this is an option to earn passive income because you'll get paid passively USD stablecoins, just depending on how much your stake is here and how much revenue TREZOR as a whole is generating. VJO, it's a bit different. It allows you to have like voting power. For example, when I just showed you the farms which had the boost icon, it's with VJO that you get the boost icon. You get the ability to boost specific farms. Then there's going to be RJO. This is for people who are looking for new protocols launching. Like this can potentially allow you to get some airdrops and some whitelisting for upcoming launches for new tokens on TREZOR's launchpad. And last not least, XJO. While with XJO you'll get or you'll be entitled to a share of the platform's trading fees. It differs from SJO because SJO is not only related to trading fees but as the bulk fees generating on TREZOR as a whole. So those are the main differences between these four staking pools. If we switch up, for example, on ARB, you'll see there's different pools available. In here on ARB, you'll have only SJO available, and for the others, I assume there will also be lesser options. So the main options and all the options actually will be available on the Avalanche network. So let's move on to the next feature, which is actually lending and borrowing. Lending and borrowing on TREZOR allows you to either deposit or borrow from their pool. So deposit will allow you to earn an API, which you can see here, depending on which token you're depositing. You'll be able also to see the total amount of tokens deposited in each pool of these. And if you deposit, of course, that becomes your collateral for what you will borrow. You'll have your borrow limit set here, depending on how much you just deposited. So with this, you can get exposure to different coins. For example, let's say you deposit AVAX and then you borrow Bitcoin.e. If Bitcoin goes up in price, you can sell those borrowed tokens and you're just maximizing your earning potential because the AVAX tokens that you have there are still there and you can claim them. And of course, if you are willing to incur in the risk of getting liquidated, because if the value of the token you just deposited starts dropping and you're very close to your borrow limit, you can really get liquidated. And I don't see this all that often in even on leading DEXes on other blockchains. Usually there's no borrow and lending market within those DEXes. You have to go to other platforms to have that. And with TREZOR, it's a cool thing that they also have it here. So let's move on to the NFTs. So they have here NFD Market. Fees will be generated and revenue will be generated for TREZOR. There's launchpad drops, there's trending now, live auctions. So you see, when I was mentioning all those pools that you could stake JO tokens, some of those pools that earn you fees generated by the platform, this is also accounting for that because transactions here on the NFT marketplace will surely also feed and reap some profit into those staking pools. So they're actually very complete. They're not just a DEX, they have other things. They have lending and borrowing, they have the NFT market, so they have a lot to offer, and I really like that about TREZOR. And also the TVL is not pumping. When TVL on AVAX pumps, on TREZOR will follow along. More volume, more fees generated, more revenue if you're providing liquidity or farming here. Not to mention the potential price appreciation of the JO token. And that's why I started the whole video telling you that it would be a good opportunity to ride that price appreciation since the beginning of the wave, because the Joe token will definitely pump as the Avalanche blockchain pumps, and of course Trader Joe also does that, because like I just showed you on DeFi Llama in the beginning, their TVL charts pretty much go hand in hand. The TVLs of both will go hand in hand. One more thing I don't think I did mention about those pools: make sure if you're going into a pool, you're going into a pair which is correlated. So I'm going to show you that on DeFi Llama in a second. But for example, if you go with Bitcoin AVAX or Wrapped ETH AVAX, make sure you're going into correlated pairs like this. And I'm going to show you what that does mean. Okay, so this is what it means being correlated. Now we have AVAX and Bitcoin on this correlation matrix. They have a really strong correlation for the past 1 year mark because their price has moved altogether very closely. The max score that they could have here is 1. They have 0.9 for the past year, for the past month 0.76, and for the past week, well, not that impressive. Of course it's on the negative, but at the same time the maximum is 1, the lowest is -1. So for the past week they haven't moved together all that much, but in the long run they do. So in comparison, AVAX and ETH for the past year 0.86 correlation, that's superb. For the past month 0.57, which is still very good, and for the past week also on the negatives. And it's not looking good for the past week, but when you provide liquidity, this is the thing, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you only realize impermanent loss the moment that you sell, or if you're going into auto pools, the moment that the pool rearranges itself. So that's one of the catches for automated pools. So this is it. This is what I had for you for today with Trader Joe. If you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.